Greetings all, welcome back to Eye of the Beholder, where we take a look at Dungeons & Dragons miniatures manufactured by WotC and WizKids from 2003 to 2023. Today we finish up with the last of the metallic dragons, the silvers, plus a little extra at the end. Enjoy! With its silver hide, noble visage, back-swept horn, and a frill that runs from the top of the head to the tip of its tail, the silver dragon has a regal presence. Of all the metallics, silvers enjoy the company of humans and elves the most, often taking the form of either an older human or a breathtakingly beautiful elf while among them. Fair warning, silver dragons are my favorite, so expect some scoring inflation here. Again, my video, my rules. We get our first silver dragon in 2004's Archfiends set. Great miniature right out of the gate. The silvery hide, with bone-colored claws and wingtips, really show off the scaling on the body. The head is perfectly creature correct. Note the goatee-like frill under the lower jaw. Pose has this silver sitting back on its haunches, left foreleg raised either in greeting or about to take a swipe at an enemy. There's also some nice detailing on the underside of the wings. Score: Paint 18, Pose 18, Playability 21, Pizzazz 22, for a score of 79. Later in 2004, we get this medium silver dragon in the Underdark set. A slightly duller silver than the previous mini, also not as detailed. Scaling is not as pronounced, nor is the detailing about the head. What I do like is the pose, fully up on his hind legs, wings nicely displayed, and tail curled around the rock outcropping the silver is standing on. As the only OG dragon not to get a specific Wormling mini from either WotC or WizKids, you could easily use this as one. Score: Paint 15, Pose 20, Playability 20, Pizzazz 17, for a score of 72. 4 years later, we get our next silver dragon in 2008's Dungeons of Dread set. Here comes the bias. Man, I dig this mini. Paint-wise, it could not be any more silver, without a hint of another color. But the detailing is perfect, especially the head. The posing is dynamic. Note how the head is pulled back while the right foreleg is raised, as if recoiling from an attack. I also like the way the tail is fully swept forward, actually extending past the foreleg. Score: Paint 17, Pose 25, Playability 25, Pizzazz 25, for a score of 92. No surprise here, we get our first WizKids silver dragon in 2014's Tyranny of Dragons set. And like every other dragon from this set, this mini is caught in mid-flight on a skinny post. Again, a uniform silver in color, so let's talk pose. I like how the wings are fully extended, no pull-up on this mini. If you've seen my other dragon vids, you know what I'm talking about. Based on the position of the tail, it seems to me that this silver is executing a 180-degree mid-air turn. Score: Paint 17, Pose 25, Playability 16, Pizzazz 25, for a score of 83. A year later, we get this ancient silver dragon as a special release as part of the Elemental Evil set. We get a bit of black around the eyes and a red tongue, otherwise it's uniform silver. But I am about to wax poetic about the pose. Another mid-flight mini, but with tail streaming behind it as the beast flies straight and true, wings completing a powerful downstroke. The scaling on the body is perfect, and the sculpt work on the head is beyond perfect. A perfect representation of a silver dragon. If you have to guess the score, you have not been paying attention. 100. At this point, I was planning on reviewing the Iron Dragon miniatures, but after reviewing the characteristics of that particular worm, I realized it doesn't really fit in with the other metallics. Iron Dragons are classed as Furious Dragons, So we'll cover them when we get to the other miscellaneous dragons. But I did promise you a bonus at the end, so say hello to Niv Mizzet, the Izzet Guildmaster of Ravnica. While I was pulling down my silver dragons from my dragon shelf, I realized I had this guy stuck in the back and completely forgot about him when I did my red dragon reviews. So let's talk about him now. Two-tone red on the body and wings with white claws, horns, and fangs, as well as highlights on the frill. And about that frill, no other red dragon has anything like it, completely surrounding the head and trailing back over the neck. Not creature correct, but I like it. The posing is solid, another mid-flight pose, foreclaws extended and wings spread wide. Score: Paint 25, Pose 22, Playability 13, it's a bit unsteady on the base, Pizzazz 25, for a score of 85. And now we're done. We'll be moving on to the Gem Dragons on our next video. Thanks as always for watching Eye of the Beholder, and leave a message if you feel the need.